Hey, welcome back, everybody. Right here in this box is a brand new Scott Ransom 920 E-Ride. And let's not waste any time. Let's get cracking on getting this thing put together. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory here. I had a trip planned to Kanuga with my good friend Typhoon. We've been to Kanuga before, and we both took our regular bikes there, and it was amazing. It was a blast. Kanuga is such a fantastic place. But I noticed that a lot of the locals were riding e-bikes, and then I got it because if you have an e-bike at Kanuga, you can get a lot more laps in. It's a ride to the top, downhill mountain bike park, and if you got an e-bike, you can get more laps in because you can really pick up the pace on the climbs, and it's a fantastic place. And I thought, I've been wanting an e-bike for quite a while, so I figured I would just try to get one before our trip, and I was able to find the bike I was looking for. I built the bike, and then I took the frame to get wrapped by a local Central Florida local rider named Maya, who goes by Maya Papaya, and she's the go-to person in Central Florida for getting frames wrapped. She does beautiful work, and since this video, she moved to Bentonville, Arkansas, the mountain biking mecca of the Southeast, just because that's where she wants to be. Her life literally revolves around mountain biking. So props to her for going after what you want to do. But anyway, when I handed off the bike to her, I told her I was about to do a Kanuga trip, and she asked me what dates I was going to be there, and it turns out that it was the exact same dates that she had planned to go there with some friends. So we made a plan to meet up at Kanuga and make a big party out of it. So was really excited about making this happen. Our two-man team turned into a bigger team, and it sounded like a good time. So here we are, arriving at Kanuga. They opened at 10 a.m. and there was basically no one there. Typhoon rented a specialized e-bike, the Levo, and because he had already ridden there on his regular bike, but he wanted to get more laps in and try out the e-bike. So here we are going down Roto Ruckus. It worked out for us because the weather forecast from several days out before our trip was predicting quite a bit of rain, and even through the days that we were going to be there. And then as we got closer and closer to the date of our trip, the forecast started getting more favorable to us, and it said it would clear up by the morning of our first day, and that's exactly what happened. It was a little wet the first couple runs, but it quickly dried out. And like I said, this is Roto Ruckus. It's a groomed trail with some rollers, some berms, and things like that. For those that aren't familiar with Kanuga, it was founded by Nico Mullally, who's a professional downhill racer, and he also builds his own frames. It's pretty impressive, the kind of tinkering and engineering that he does on these custom frames. And then the other guy that's involved in Kanuga, I believe he's a local Asheville doctor. His name's Dave Lamond. I don't know how those two met. I imagine being a downhill professional mountain bike racer, you probably meet a lot of doctors. But Dave Lamond, Dr. Dave Lamond, also is a mountain biker. And I spoke to him briefly during our trip. I just happened to bump into him, didn't know who he was, and found out later he was one of the owners. But those two combined forces came up with this whole facility, and they've done a fantastic job. They've even branched out and opened up another one called Rock Creek, which actually does have lift service to the top. And I went there, and it's none of it's groomed. It's really it's more geared towards pro riders or expert riders, but even intermediate riders can have a lot of fun there. But it's a little more rougher. It's not as, you don't have any groomed trails there. So, but if that's what you're into the more natural rides. That place is awesome. So that was a ride down Roto Ruckus. Now we're getting ready to take on another trail. This one's called GNCC, another super fun trail, but this one is not groomed. This is more natural riding. I mean, some of the ridings have carved out some little berms, but this is one that they do, very little upkeep on because they want it to be a more natural trail, just to have a little bit of something for everyone. And so let's go for a ride down GNCC. Alright, so that was a ride down GNCC. Super fun trail. And here we go.
Go.
Moving into one of my favorite trails, a short little jump line with a really incredible big kind of step-up tabletop. It's called Tortuga. And you'll see that here comes the big tabletop here. It's really well done. Tortuga is one of those trails that we end up doing a bunch of laps on this one. It's really easy to get back to the top, even if you're not on an e-bike. A lot of people do multiple laps on this trail. Just a bunch of tabletops, so there's no gaps, so you can come up short on any of them, and it just works so well. Who wants to go first? So well built.
Me? All right, let's go. Okay, let's
go. So here we finally linked up with the rest of the Florida gang, Maya, Joe, Joel, and the rest of their crew, and they wanted to take a roll down Evergreen, which is it's a green trail. It's very flowy, pretty fast if you want to go fast. There's a lot of rollers you can catch some air on. Nothing big, there's no real jumps on this one. This is their beginner trail, but it's really fun and super flowy. Starting to dry up pretty well by this point. There was still a few greasy spots, but for the most part, it was in really good shape, and we had a great time on it. So hang on for a ride down Evergreen. Here we go.
Jump right there. an involuntary 1-footer. Yeah, that was good. Some of the burns, I wasn't sure they were free. Yeah. The morning was lucid, I knew it was perfect. Yeah, it's a little better than it was. All right, come on.
Okay, here we go down a new trail called Deadwood that I had not been on previously. It wasn't there the last time I came to Kanuga. I'd only been there 2 times previously. I'm following Maya down, and she got a bit of a head start, which was a mistake because she's hard to catch. She's fast. And props to Maya. She was actually riding with 2 injured ankles. She had an incident on an airbag jump, and she bailed on a big jump and jammed or twisted up both her ankles, and she was all taped up. But she's a trooper, man. She went for it anyway. But this is Deadwood. This trail was it might be one of my more favorite trails now. It was really a lot of fun, and they were still working on it. The bottom section is still under construction. There was a really steep section there toward the end, and I think that's what they were still working on. But it was really loamy, it was loose, it was off camber, but the whole thing was just a blast, and we all loved it. So here we go. Let's check out a little more Deadwood.
Yeah.
The GoPro effect on this trail is for real. The second half of Deadwood was really steep, a lot of fun, but you cannot get any sense of how steep it was from the video. But hey, thanks to the gang that rode along with me, Maya and Typhoon as always, and the rest of the gang, Joe, Joel. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me and riding. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. There's going to be more stuff coming. Yeah, thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed it.